Before we get into today's episode of Daily Brightness, we just want to say a huge thank you to our proud partners, Shaw, for being with us from the very beginning, and what a start it's been.
I think the reaction to our podcast so far has been nothing but positive from our family, from our friends, from our teammates, from our fans. It's been really nice to see all the positive reviews and feedback, so keep that all coming.
Yeah, I also think that we've probably learned a lot about ourselves, and me and Rach always talk about this podcast. You know, it's more than just us chatting. It's actually like a little therapy session. And I've actually learned a lot about myself, and I feel like it's given me the confidence to open up a little bit more and show that more vulnerable side. So yeah, it's been really, really refreshing. And we also get to appreciate all the things that we've achieved. Rach, everything you're achieving with Villa, you know, the form at the end of the season, me getting my 200th in the WSL and talking about all our accomplishments, the hard times. Yeah, it's becoming a really nice platform actually, and I'm really enjoying where it's going. But thank you to everyone for the amazing support.
So thanks again to Shaw for showing up for women's football and backing the pod from day one. And thank you all for tuning in.
Hello and welcome to the Rest is Football Daily Brightness. Today, little surprise, me and Rachel are actually in person.
Hello.
Here we are, and we are continuing our Euro 2022 Rewind mini-series, and we are going to take you back to the group stages.
If you didn't catch the pre-tournament episode, head back to Daily Brightness and do have a listen to that first one as well. I'm going to go straight into the group stage now. First game against Austria. What do you remember from the night before that game, Mill?
Oh, I think just pure excitement. I think we were so happy that the game was finally here. We spoke about before, the lead up kind of to the first game is really long, and it's just like you train, you're like, oh my God, I want to play. And I think for us as well, knowing we were the opening game, home Euros, Old Trafford, like expecting a sellout, it was just, yeah, pure excitement. But really, I remember it being really calm. The camp was really like relaxed, and
yeah, I remember that.
Like, I'm sure we were probably doing like a TikTok or something like the night before. Like, it was super,
so normal.
Chill, like.
The lead up to it was quite like long, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we had quite a lot of prep camps, loads of games. And then it was like that wait for the first game. And then all of a sudden it just rolled back around. And I remember going for a walk the night before. Yeah. I don't think I was with you. I think I literally just went on my own. Everywhere was just like Euros. And I was like, people shouting at us down the street like, go on. Remember we went for that team walk in the morning?
But that's the thing, that's because we came out of our little bubble. Because we were at the Lensbury, and then we got to Manchester, and then it was just like, that was our first real insight into like the outside world.
And
we
fan
like,
experience and
holy
stuff.
Shit, we're here, like the Euros is beginning.
Yeah.
So like, when we're in the hotel, it's fine because you're in your room and everything's quiet. And then outside, I was like, I'll just keep my curtains shut, like I won't look outside.
I know. And then I remember like, obviously we went to the game. Because, yeah, like you said, we were at the Lensbury, for those of you that didn't know, at the Lensbury Hotel, and that was our base camp. And then we went up to Manchester the night before, stayed overnight there, didn't we, in the centre of Manchester. So we'd got up to Manchester, had the night there, whatever, went to the game the next day, and it was so surreal. Like, I remember pulling up around Old Trafford, and it was just packed.
Yeah, it was rammed.
Wasn't it? Like, it always is at, like, big games, but this was just, like, had a different feel to it, didn't it? Yeah. It was just literally chocker. And then Jill's friend should not laugh.
Shouldn't laugh. Okay, so let's just cast our minds back. Imagine you're on the bus, you got the opening game of a home Euros, and you're preparing for the first game. There's been a lot of outside talk. Everyone's expecting us to thrash Austria. We know it's going to be a difficult game. We're all looking outside the windows, aren't we? We're like, oh my God, look at the fans. I wonder where our families are. We were probably joking, say, where's Lulu, Rachel's mum, because she's always the first one waving at us as we get off the bus. And then out of nowhere, Jill's like, oh, my friend, girls, bang on the window, get her attention. Here we go, banging on the window. What happens?
The poor girl was like running to try and keep up with the bus, wants you to like get to Jill.
But she was looking at
But so she's like running along.
No,
the bus is behind.
She was actually
sprinting.
She was going
How
fast.
did it happen? She must have been...
She was proper legging it.
Yeah, I know, but the bus must have been behind because she was running, looking at it. Next thing you know, bam, ran into a lamppost. And it was one of those moments where obviously like we were like, oh my God, to the doctor, like get off the bus, like what's happened?
We were in slow moving traffic.
Yeah.
It was obviously packed, so we were like there, and then there was just this blood just like
all down her face, bless her.
We freaked out, we didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
We were like, Ritan, get off the bus, like help her. The girl had literally cracked her whole head, and then we were like getting her attention. We were even saying, Jill, get off the bus, like go help her, go help her.
But bearing in mind, this is like an hour and a half before kick-off, our first Euro game.
She made it to
it
the
almost
game.
kind of grounded you a little bit, didn't it? It's like, oh, like normal shit's happening still.
Yeah.
Much to her bad fortune. But no, but I mean like people think we're sheltered from stuff like that, don't they? Definitely not an everyday occurrence, but people do think we're sheltered from like
I have actually
that
run into
side
a
of.
lamppost before when I was going to school and I was waving to my dad.
I've definitely rode my bike into a
She was
lamppost.
pelting it though. She was going pretty fast.
Yeah.
But honestly, we were just like, okay, we've got to switch on to the game.
Yeah,
Like, it
but
was
then
so
like,
weird.
I remember being in the change room before the game, being like, Jill, is your friend all right? Have you heard from your friend? Is your friend all right?
But we had to have a good balance of like checking in. Like as a human, you were like, holy shit, is she all right? Crap, we're going out in 30 seconds to prepare.
Yeah, I was like,
for
did
the
she
warm-up.
actually make the game or?
I think she
No, but at the time we were like, she's not still coming, is she? Surely not. Her white England kit's turned red. Bless her, poor thing. Hope she's okay.
We're really not laughing at
No,
someone
not laughing
going,
at her. It was just like
It's
this
just the whole
so like
situation.
we'd been in this bubble, like literally like wrapped up in cotton wool for this whole time, and all of a sudden it's like we get letting us out of the zoo. Open the gates, it's like a free for all. But bless her, but I think that was for me like
Oh my god.
it was so bad. I'll never forget how much blood was coming out of her poor face. Oh God. Fuck's sake. Oh, Jill, please, if you're listening to this, please give her our best, because we're not laughing at her. It's not funny at all. But
I'm literally crying.
I remember after the game we'd won and obviously we was all buzzing. But the first thing we're like, Jill, is your friend all right? But
you know what's
anyway,
funny?
so
Of all plays, it's Jill.
yeah.
And then she's
just
like,
like, your friend has been knocked out.
that is such a Jill thing
I
to
know.
like happen. And then she blamed us. It was like, it was you like banging on the windows.
Oh God. Anyway, let's move on to the football.
Oh my god.
Obviously, that was a weird game, wasn't it? Because I think everyone put so much pressure on us to just like batter Austria, and it's like, why?
Oh, yeah.
Like all we went into that game was 3 points. Just need 3 points on the board. No problem. It's home. It's first game,
And
which
you
is
never know
exactly
you're
what we
gonna feel
did.
like for the opening game, like you just never do. I really need a tissue. Like, I'm literally Anyway,
Right.
as always, the pod is making us laugh, sometimes cry. But yeah, the game was really, really hard. Like it was
Really
one of those games
difficult.
where you had to stay like super focused. Like we were just like clean sheet, get a goal. I remember it being like a really close
Do you remember
game.
how long we waited for VAR as well?
Oh my
for the
God.
goal?
Shock.
We were waiting for ages, and I was thinking,
Please.
just let us calm down now.
Yeah.
Like we need this. But I remember that was kind of a bit of a weird moment because we weren't that used to VAR then, were we?
No, and
So-
also I think because we'd had such a good lead up to the games, we were fine with it being like how the game was. It was everybody else.
Yeah,
And I remember
external
the game,
expectations, wasn't it?
And the game ending, and I remember going through the mix zone, and the media were being dead negative, and I was like, did I just play in a different game? Like, yeah, it weren't outstanding, but one, it's game number one.
Yeah, and we've got
2,
3 points
you
on the
grow in
board.
a tournament, and 3, we've just won and got a clean sheet. Like, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
The performance, you just tick it off, see you later. Game 1, you've won, you move on. There's no time to be like, oh, we played really well, but we lost. Like, no one cares. You want to win.
Yeah.
It's a tournament.
And I don't think we necessarily played bad. I think it was just people expected like a 4-5-0 scoreline. It's
Yeah,
like
don't disrespect
Austria is a good side.
Exactly.
Like, again, it's so different in a prep camp leading up to, you know, your games before to a tournament. Tournament football, for anyone that doesn't know, is one of the most challenging things, isn't it? Like, especially at international level. Like,
Yeah.
you can't replicate them.
No.
Because
I
it's
do-
literally 90 minutes and it's anyone's game.
Yeah, and I do remember the walkout. Like, you couldn't see the pitch for
No.
ages. I was like, I can't even see the people in the crowd.
I know.
There's so much smoke. And I was just like, holy shit, this is like a moment in football.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, this is like going to go down
Yeah.
like, as one of my favourite moments of my career. Like, it was just so good. The atmosphere was sick. Old Trafford's like such a good stadium. But yeah, I just remember like, I was actually quite annoyed when I came out the mix zone. Because I was like, we've just got off to a really good start. Perfect, game number 1.
But I think that's equally why we really thrived being in the bubble. Because obviously we were in the hotel with no Sky Sports on the TVs, no like outside noise. No one was telling us we were good, we were bad, we were ugly. So I think we quite like relished
Yeah,
in that silence as well, didn't we?
yeah.
Like not having any external noise and distractions.
Can you remember the couple days after the first game?
I actually can't. I feel like so many parts of my time in that
a bit of a blur.
Yeah, like I can't remember after what game I felt what. And I can't remember like where we flew to and like when we flew, like did we drive, did we fly? But I think I remember like immediately afterwards we were all just like, good start guys, like let's just keep on this path. I think we all said
collectively as well, like forget the media, like they're irrelevant kind of thing, and like just focus on the fact that we've won, clean sheet, lots to build on, like lots of positives, and Austria are a very tough team. So.
I just remember being like, can we get back to Lensbury, I want to play basketball.
Yeah, true.
Like we went straight, I remember going straight back there and just going in the games room.
That was one of the best things. That basketball thing actually, like, I think I might get one installed at home. Any companies out there, let me know.
But I think it was quite normal, wasn't it? It wasn't like, I feel like it didn't really feel as though we were in a tournament. It was like, all right, done, next.
We were never on a super high and we were never on a low. Like, we were always very like, I think it's the best way to be in a tournament.
I think we might have had like a family day after that. Our first family day, where they could have come and seen us. I think we might have done that. But I don't. It's all a bit of a blur, like after what game we did what. But then obviously leading into Norway, which I think was arguably supposed to be the toughest game of the group for us, wasn't it? Obviously got off to a decent start, and then this was wild,
mental.
There's two games in that tournament where I was just like wild, but the Norway game. The Amex Stadium was sick, wasn't it? Like so the atmosphere there was so cool. Like what I liked about that is it was so like open, but you still feel closed in. It's one of my favourite stadiums to play at the Amex.
We always kept saying, "Can we go back and play there?"
I know,
just because of like we were like, "That's
so good, wasn't it?"
Now, but that game was just wild.
Like the players they had and the team they had, we were all like in for it. We're in for a tough night here. Like it's gonna be.
Everyone needs to be on it.
Yeah, like respect them. They're good. And then I literally just remember being like.
The goals flying in. 1, 2, 3. And I was like, I looked at, I think you and Leah at one point, and I was like, what is going on? Like, I'm like, do we keep celebrating? The first one you celebrated, and then, because it was in like such a short space of time, and then when it got to like 2, 3, 4, 5, I was looking around and going, is this, are we
it felt like a movie. Like, I didn't feel like I was living in what I thought I was in like an alternate universe.
Like,
really good goals.
That's what I think.
We played such good football, but we went in at half time and remember literally looking at you and Leah and Lucy. It was obviously in the back line, wasn't it? I actually
got in and went like.
I was like, we're 6-0 up against Norway at half time. What is happening? And all I could think about in my head was, everyone can shut up now because you've had a go at us for winning 1-0. We're 6-0 up at half time. Unless we lose 7-6.
That game was like gold, though. It was like golden. Like everything the girls touched, like up top, was just like in the back of the net. Like, everything was perfect.
Yeah, it was
like,
so good.
And I just remember being in their half, like
non-stop. We didn't really have to defend.
No,
which was so rare against a team like Norway, isn't it? Because they're usually like solid.
Yeah.
But I think like once they'd gone like 2, 3, 4-0 down, their heads dropped a bit, didn't it? And it's like, how did you get out of this rut?
I've been on the other end of those. I've been on the receiving end of some of those sorts
Same.
of things. But it was.
So I think that was a madness of a game, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the interviews seemed to be a lot nicer.
Oh, England are here to compete, and
found your form and But I think.
But that was a fun game, really fun, and obviously being at the Amex, we really loved that, didn't we? Remember that hotel before the Norway, before the Brighton, when we played at Brighton?
What was that?
It was one I was always flicking on the on like the marina bit.
Oh yeah.
When it crammed everyone into that them tables, that was a nice hotel that there, wasn't it?
That was a lovely area, to be fair. Lovely area. Mida got player of the match for that.
Yeah, Mido got player of the match and Bagsman hat-trick.
Yeah. She had an unbelievable tournament though, to be fair, but that game in particular, I was like, give her the ball. You know, it's
honestly,
one of those games when like, all your attackers are like on front, like give them the ball, just get it to them, get it to the players that are shining, like keep them on there. But yeah, I just remember like going back into that mix zone after, and I was like, get me back in there.
Yeah.
Let me answer the questions now.
No, that was a wild game. I genuinely felt like I was in a movie.
Crazy. One of the best. I think that'll go down as one of the best games in a tournament.
Yeah.
Because you don't expect that. Like, Norway are a very, very, very
well, you thought it was going to be like a tight game. It was going to be really difficult, and it just kept... literally everything they touched up front went in. It was amazing.
So, Rach, that is the first 2 games covered. We'll be heading off for a short break, get a cup of tea and biscuits, and then we'll be back to do our 3rd and final game. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and keep watching us. See you soon. This episode is brought to you by Tinder.
People think that dating is to just find the one, Mel, but I think there's so much more to it than that.
We spoke about it before, about, you know, you have a soulmate in life, but you have a soul best friend, and you're my sole best friend, as you know. I don't think it should be looked upon as just a dating app. You might want just a companion, or, you know, you could have an unexpected friendship blossom. I think it's quite small-minded just to think of it as, oh, I have to find like it's a relationship I'm looking for. Like, no, you could find a friendship, and that could be someone that you rely on for the rest of your lives.
I think we've heard a lot of success stories from Tinder, from people in relationships and stuff. But like you said, it's not just about that. It's about, you might not get on with them romantically, but they might become your best friend, or someone that you can go to the pub with and have a drink with, or go do a pub quiz with. So I think there is a lot of success behind that as well. It's not just finding the one.
Yeah, as you say, Tinder is for all types of connections.
And it works because on Tinder, a new relationship starts every 3 seconds, from slow burners to instant sparks.
Wherever it takes you, it starts with a swipe. Download Tinder today.
Welcome back to the Rest is Football Daily Brightness. We will go on to the final group match against Northern Ireland, and this one was at Southampton. I remember this one, Mills, because no one really knew what was going to happen, because we'd already won the group, topped the group, so we were like, we're already through at the best seed possible. And there was so much. I think that was the time where maybe chatter creeped in a little bit within our group, because we were like, is she going to go with the same team? Is she going to change it?
Yeah, like, that's what the outside straight away asked, like, you've already qualified, like. But I just think the mentality in a tournament is you keep momentum. So it was like, maybe that crept in, and players were like listening to that a little bit. But obviously we made, Serena weren't actually at that game.
No, she was poorly, wasn't she?
So that was a little bit of a, you know, like the challenge at the first game. That was a challenge, you know, halfway through, and kind of dealing with that, which, to be fair, everyone just got on with it. Like, that's the thing with when we were at that Euros, nothing got in our way. Nothing affected us, nothing derailed us.
And I think, obviously, like, as players on the bench in that moment, probably would have thought, she'll change the team or whatever.
Yeah.
And the fact that she didn't, and they just got on with it, was, like, genuinely why I think we won the tournament. Like, moments like that, because it's like, I know for a fact they'll be sat there going, I should be playing in this game. Of course, that's what most normal people would think.
Yeah.
But the fact that never bothered anyone and never crept in to the point where it's like...
And if they did feel it, they didn't say it.
Exactly. So I think that's, when we look back at our time there, I think that's one thing where we were like, respect, because it is not an easy position to be in.
No, definitely not.
I think at that point it was like everyone was kind of on board with like, we just need to keep winning. We need to keep winning. We need to keep
We just kept saying we're one step closer.
And everyone was having such a good time off the pitch and stuff as well. So, but yeah, that was never going to be an easy game again, was it? I mean, it's, you know, on paper it was probably the easiest of the three going into
that
it.
way, Leslie did a really good goal. She did that first touch. Was it that game?
I can't remember. Les scored that many good goals. I don't know.
There was one, I'm pretty sure it was this game where someone passed her and she did like this like little twirly touch and then finished it.
Oh yeah, I think it was that game. Also,
Yeah,
France got a banger that game.
Yeah, we had such good like the players that started the game like just like gave absolutely everything. Then we had like super subs.
Yeah, unbelievable.
That like took us to another level.
Absolutely unbelievable.
It was crazy.
But that was Southampton. I do like St Mary's as well. It's always a nice stadium to play at, isn't it?
Cool place. But yeah, good game. And I think we'd really started to like come into our form now, and like we were, everyone was just gelled, like you said, off the pitch, but on the pitch things were like really clicking, like especially after that Norway game, and then to do it again. And that's actually quite a hard position to be in. I don't think people understand is when you've already qualified and you've already like secured your space, being able to then go out and dominate again.
Yeah,
because you've already really like done your job.
Yeah,
you've qualified. So to be able to go and perform like that again, I think we really like said, no, we're here to win without actually.
And do you know what I think there was such a good mentality that we had was like, don't concede. And we got through the group games with not conceding a goal. Like, that was huge.
Taking pride
especially
in that,
us being in the back line. I remember how important that was for us. So I think it was important to get in that game and, like, we're not conceding.
Yeah.
We're not conceding. Let's go into the next round being like...
It just keeps you on task, doesn't it?
Yeah, like our goal scorers were just absolutely thriving. And we were like, don't concede. So I think we had that mentality all over the pitch, didn't we? Yeah. Which was great. And it was a nice way to round off the end of the group stages, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, then it really started to ramp up and you get out to knockout stages and then it's all to play for.
Yeah, it's literally anybody's then, isn't it?
That's it for the Rest is Football Daily Brightness. We really hope you're enjoying reliving the Euros 2022 because we certainly are.
Next time we'll be reminiscing about the quarterfinals, but until then, it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.